You play too much. All right, so let's say we are being live streamed. I'm gonna look at the Facebook through my phone because I don't want to echo. Echo, 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 echo.
Oh no, I got you right here. Guess what? I'm about to share it.
Echo, echo, echo. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Where is my Zoom screen? Oh, I minimized it. You would think I would know better with my technical skills. I wanted a little intro music, try to upbeat ourselves. We all burnt out, tired from the work week. This how we get when we look. We got all the energy in the world when we traveling. No sleep needed. Let us get back to work. We like, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Anywho, thank you guys for tuning in to the Travel Misfits show again, kicking it live and in effect with us. We got Mr. Nelson stepping in the building good because we didn't think he was going to be able to make it today. So yeah, everybody on board today. We're going to keep our brother Reggie up in prayer. He's able to join us, but he won't be on the camera. He's a little down today, and I'm fighting through my allergies and my sinuses, but that's small stuff. Mr. Nelson getting ready for the big game tomorrow. Even though that's not my alma mater, I'm a cheer for the kids. Roll Tide.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide.
So this week we wanted to bring to you guys, treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. We got it. My mother always used to tell me, you know, when you working hard and you write that list down of the bills that you got to pay, put your own name down, pay yourself as if you were a bill. And this is what we're going to spend on today. So we have a very, very, very special guest tuning in with us today. I'm so ecstatic about her being here. One of my good partners. She's been in the business for almost a year now. You haven't quite met the year mark. You met your year mark already? Oh, so she's been in the business for a year. She has been moving and grooving and booming and all that good stuff with her travels and you know, traveling from just learning the tricks and the trades, traveling as a consumer and now as a professional. Miss Rhonda Stark, CEO of, I want to make sure I'm saying it in the right order, Escape and Explore Excursions. I said that in the right order, right? Okay.
Yes, it's good.
So glad to have you on the line today, ma'am. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Nelson, I'm calling you out.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to speak on treat yourself, don't cheat yourself, and pick Miss Stark's brain since she's been moving and grooving with this travel business and learning about budgeting and getting your bang for your buck.
Yeah, sure. Why not? First of all, I want to say hello to everyone, you know, and please excuse my tardiness. Like Ms. Johnson said, I didn't think I was going to make it, but I did. So, and thank you again, Miss Rhonda Starks, who's a rock star in this industry right now. So glad she was able to grace us with her presence. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just start off with the question for you. I'm going to get myself out of the way. So I see you moving. We all do. We see you moving and how you move. You know, some people, one misconception is that, you know, it's hard to travel. You know, it costs too much money, this, that, and the third. How are you able to travel the way you do and treating yourself?
Well, I just give myself a year because I know realistically that works for me because I got to accrue time just like everybody else. They got to accrue leave, you know, figure out their plans and things of that nature for the year. You got the holidays, folks got kids, you know, you got life, right? So I try to give myself a year. So I know I'm going to travel for my birthday. It's in August. I treat myself like it's a holiday, right? And then, you know, for loved ones, we do something. They might want to do dinners or whatever, but I'm like, let's travel. So that's what I do mainly is just give myself time. and then you make those deposits and make your payments and things of that nature. People think that I got to pay all this money all at one time, and that's not the case. You know, when you go to a online, you know, service or whatever, you got to drop that money all at one whop, and everybody don't have it like that. Everybody don't have a credit card to throw it on like that. You know what I'm saying? Or so you know, you start off with the room, you know, depending on who you go through, you might put down $50, you know, and people can pay, like you say, pay yourself first. Okay, I got a trip coming up, it's $72 a month, you know, giving yourself 12, 13 months to pay for it. You can squeeze out $72. You eat $72. You know what I'm saying? You club $72. You go out and spend money on unnecessary things. And if you just take that and say, hey, I'm gonna put this towards this trip. I got this going on and that going on. I want to go here and there. You give yourself that time and that space, you can do that. But you know, it's all about what you want. Like I'm not worried about $200 bags and shoes and none of that. Because at the end of the day, when I go out the country, they don't care about that stuff other than, you know, what they see on TV is glitz, is glamour, but it don't matter. You're humbled when you go and you travel in other places and people don't have what you have. So I stopped doing all of that. And instead of buying a bag, let me catch this flight.
I'd say that all I want to add to that is that mindset has now put you in a position to now make a bag. So let's
Oh yeah.
let's just look at it that way.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like delayed gratification too. You know what I'm saying? You come back from the trips and you got a check. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it. You know what I mean? But I just look at it as I'm putting money away or paying on this trip so that I know when I go somewhere, I know I'm gonna have a good time. I don't always want to do the local things, or you know, you get tired of that after a while. You know what I mean? I'm getting older. I'm not in the club and all that like that no more. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a follow up to and you. I was going to ask you this a little bit later. I'm going to ask you right now. How did it feel when you? This is more of a travel business owner question, but because I don't think I asked you this before. How did it feel when you traveled first as a travel business owner, and then you seen that commission, and what was that feeling like when you seen it?
Oh man, I was like, what? What? I learned so much starting this business, understanding what different areas of travel is, and you can do different things and VIP services and things of that nature, that the past travel agent that I had never even offered it. She only did what I asked her to do, which is book me a flight, book my room. You know what I mean? So now what I've learned, I can offer that to other people and say, hey, did you know while you over here doing this and that and the third, you can also do this, or you can package this together. Me traveling as a professional, oh my God. I reach out to the managers, the BDMs, and say, hey, listen, I'm coming to your resort, this, that, and the third. I've not had no problem. I feel like the red carpet was rolled out for me. You know what I'm saying? I just came back from Jamaica on a trip for my birthday, Ocean Eden Bay. It had mixed reviews. I'm like, where? How? From the time that we got there, we checked in, it was just smooth. You know what I'm saying? The rooms is what they were supposed to be. It was everything. And with, you know, they checked on us. We had from the door, it was like concierge, you know, every day calling and checking on us when they saw us out walking around and stuff. Is, hey, are you okay? Come do this, come look at that. We got this going on, that going on. So it was like, wow. Being on this side of the business and understanding all the hard work that it takes to get put a package together, it was really wonderful for my loved ones to be like, yo, you did that. You did that. Like, we did the VIP service coming in and out, you know, from Jamaica, and just everything went so smooth. We didn't have any delays or any problems at all. It was just, you know, straight fun, relaxation, everything that everybody wanted to do. So it was very flexible. Everybody has places we could eat and do their own thing and come together, do an excursion and whatever the case was. But it's been a whole lot better on this side than traveling as a consumer. You know, I wouldn't have thought about VIP services and skipping custom lines and all of that. I'd have been standing in that line, hot, irritated, mad with the rest of the folks, you know, those types of things. And you don't even know that there's better, that there's more, that you can upgrade your seats or how you book your flight depends on where you sit within the, you know, plane. I didn't think of anything. Give me my ticket, let's go. You know, now it's a lot better to know, okay, look, you need to book them in these, you know, type of seats or whatnot, because the way airlines was bumping people, you know what I mean? If you were pretty much in the back of the plane or going through a third party or whatever the case was, you might not be on that flight, or, you know what I'm saying? They might cancel you first. So it was just like learning to pay that extra couple of dollars for that, you know, published fare or whatever the case is, just to make sure that you're straight, you know, don't have any issues. That means a lot, knowing the differences between different insurances and, you know, what covers what. Even a baggage delay. I had a client, you know, go out of the country, come back, and her bag, she didn't get her bag for 5 days. And I was like, okay, well, your insurance covers that. And she's like, what? She's thinking it only covers if she needs to cancel because of COVID. And I'm like, no, in the instructions I sent you, it says everything about delays, whatever the case is. If we was able to go put a claim in, she was able to get, you know what I'm saying, compensated. So we don't think about that when people say, hey, you should put insurance on your trip, or you should put some sort of protection, because anything can happen. And you don't think about that. And a lot of times people will say no, they'll shoot it down. But when you say, hey, listen, this is what it covers, and with COVID being what it is, and now monkeypox on the rise the way it is, you just never know what can happen, right? So I've seen people lose money that they didn't have to lose. So it's just, you know, being a travel professional on this end, you learn the different ins and outs and how people can get, you know, compensated for certain things.
All right, so I actually have a question. And I was very content with just letting them two ask the questions at first, but when you said earlier that you give yourself a year, that's actually a little longer than what I do. You know,
Okay.
I had a 6-month turnaround. Why? Because I'm greedy and I want to travel twice. So, but
Okay.
that was me. You know
Right.
what I mean? So at the end of the day, though, it was a mindset change for me when I decided to do that.
Yes.
When you decided that, you know, actually paying into your vacations, you know, 1 year at a time, you know, can you give me a little insight into what gave you or what changed your mind to do that?
Initially, like I said, it's all about my job, right? My full-time job, I have to accrue the time, right? So initially, where I was working with the staffing that we had going on, I could really only get away one time a year, right? So once I become into this business and everything, I started thinking, you know what? I need to figure out what the hell Reese and Daryl is doing to be able to go. I need to be able to work from home. I need to change my job. I need to level up in whatever way, right? So honestly, what I did was I left the job that I was at, took on a new job, just accepted a new job last week, right? So I know that because I'm coming into this new stuff, so I gotta accrue some time. I do have 2 trips planned, but I staggered them. So I have one planned for next June and one for next December. You know what I'm saying? So when I say a year out, that's what I mean, like that, so that at least I can accrue that time and be able to take people with me. Because some people don't want to travel. They've never been out of the country and they're like, I'd rather go with you, and that's fine. So if you want me to host, these are the 2 trips that I'm hosting for that time. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. But being in this business has also allowed me to say, okay, you know what, I need to take a second trip. And then now, you know, when I have 3-day weekends or different time off, I can go on shorter trips. So it'll be more to come, but I'll always have at least 6 to 8 months out to plan it, because like I said, I'm a regular person like anybody else, and I don't have it like that. So, I do what I can, right? You know what I mean? But this business has also changed, changed my mindset after getting them commission checks and learning to reinvest, because more trips would be reinvesting into my business, right? And me educating myself about different places and different, services and stuff. So that's really all. Now I'm like taking it in, because when I first started getting them, it was just like, I can't believe I can't believe this is happening. This type of money is coming in. This is what I'm seeing coming back to me, right? So it's just been a blessing, and I'm now just like really grasping, because I just been on a high. I'm just gonna be honest. For the last year and a couple of months, I just been on a high. Like, I can't believe that I'm actually doing this, and it's really working out for me better than what I thought it would.
Yeah,
So
and
let's spin it. Oh, you guys about to say something, right?
this is one thing that you know, I asked that question because I needed people to understand that just like anything else worth doing, or worth going after, it requires a mindset. It's not just
Yes.
something that you could just wake up today and say, okay, I'm going to do. It's going to require for you to make a complete change, and
Yes.
change the way you think about it, change the way you go about it, change the way you move, change the way you operate. It's going to require for you to become someone different to achieve the goals that you want to do. Because at the end of the day, like me and Reese, like I said, we kind of had pre-gamed a little bit before we went live, and like I had to like I was explaining to her, it amazes me to hear the people say that they can't travel because they can't do this and they can't do that.
Yeah.
But they're standing at that bulletproof glass ordering 4 wings with mumbo sauce, or they're standing in line and they're ordering a box of crab legs, and they're at the store with boxes of butter that they're about to go melt down, and a Pepsi. I promise you, if you skip that for a month,
Oh, trust.
you understanding what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, literally.
That's what I wanted to.
Literally, I cut out eating certain foods. Like, that's where that money, that extra change, like I said, I eat $71 instead of saying, look, I'm gonna do those things that you just mentioned. I'm down almost 18 pounds.
That works.
Because
That
I'm not
part.
standing in front of that bulletproof glass and
That
getting
part.
those things. Okay, so I cut the Pepsis and all that extra junk and stuff out. So you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a mind change. It's a mindset change. I'm like, look,
Yes.
at the end of the day, what the hell are y'all doing that y'all can just go? What kind of job you got? You know what I'm saying? I need to get there. So that was just like, hey, you can't stay comfortable. You can't be complacent. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm to the point where I have to move when spirit says move, right? So it's like I sat down too long and I realized that, hey, you're trying to make something work that's really not for you. It's not, you got to do something else and have something for you. And when Reese started her business and whatnot, I watched her a little bit and I'm like, hey, I need you to book a trip for me. And she was like, nope, you can do it yourself. And I can show you how to do it. And I'm like, bet, let's go. You know what I mean? So once I figured out the process and stuff like that, I'm just like, hey, you want to go on a trip? You want to go on a trip? I'm trying to tell everybody I know. And really the business that I've gotten has all been by word of mouth solely.
See, I wanted to touch bases and spin back on a few things that you had covered. So, we spoke about booking from a professional stance versus the consumer. And we also spoke about, being the average Joe that has a 9 to 5, that to where you may have the restrictions and limitations on when you can take off, things of that sort. You also spoke on something very heavy about when you went through a travel agent before and she didn't provide the additional information
Right.
about the book, and which is what I really love and I'm passionate about. Like, I love the fact that, when I did my trips, it was just more, we're not just going to go to the hotel and go to the beach and stay at the beach and get drunk.
Right.
Like, we're going to explore some of these,
Right.
attractions and things. Like, we're going to go scuba diving and things of that sort. So, speaking from that perspective, and we're gonna tackle this strictly from a consumer perspective, because again, this is about treat yourself, don't cheat yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then I read an article recently where they say this new slogan that's called quiet quitting, where because of the shift, so what it's based off of is, since COVID and since the shift with people working remotely and working from home, it's actually giving them more time, more clarity on their work and their personal life balance, to where some people are starting to really start to realize, I'm not really treating myself like I should. I need to go out here and I really need to live my life for me, right?
Yes.
And it all goes back to what I said, like my grandmother told me at a young age, when you write down your bills, like when you sit and you write Comcast, T-Mobile, car note, you write your name down on that list. You write Reese, right? By each one of those bills, including your name, you put the amount that you're going to pay, because you're going to pay yourself back for your hard work, and you're going to treat yourself, right? So speaking on that for the average consumer, because we hear things like, does this sound familiar? Oh man, I wish I could travel like you do. Oh man, I can't afford to travel. Oh man, I can't get off of work to travel. Oh man, I'm gonna travel more when I retire.
Yes.
No, one thing I get the most, man, you must be killing them on the prices that you always flying to LA and back.
Look, when people say that, especially at my job, it amazes me that I work with nurses, 6-figure salaries. Some ain't never been out the country. Real talk. And I'm sitting there like, what are you doing with your money? And they're like, I work. And I'm like, no. Look at where I went to the grill last year, and I show them Royalton and show them the flowers and stuff and the banners. And they're like, oh my God. I come back and I go to this trip, and they're like sitting there looking at my pictures and stuff. And I'm like, $50 deposit can get you and whoever you want to go in your room to go. I booked 2 people to go to Jamaica to the grill for next. I said, give yourself some time. They're young. They're like, I don't know if I could spend $3,000. And I'm like, look, $50 here, $50 there. That stuff adds up. I had one young lady paying for St. Thomas last year. She literally paying me $30, $40 here, $25. Before she knew it, she had, gotten up to like $900. She ended up having to cancel, but she didn't even realize that she was going to have $900 coming back. She said, I didn't realize I paid that much money. Sometimes she hit me up 2-3 times a week, like $15 here and there. And I'm going to take the payment, right? Because I want you to get to where you want to go. I want you to experience something different. I want you to get out of your comfort zone. And that's how I tell people, like, look, get out of your comfort zone. You've never been on a plane? Where would you like to go? If you can go anywhere, where would you like to go? First, a lot of times people be like, oh, I would love to go to Jamaica. Bet, let's do that.
It can be done.
It can be done. And I'll show you 3 different options and show you what you can get and what you know what I mean? What you can afford or whatever the case is. We can work it out. Give yourself some time. They always think I have to pay for this right now. No. You got at least 12 months to pay for this $3,000 trip. You can do that. One young lady, she just accepted the same job I did. She's just starting off. She's so excited. They got passports every week. Miss Rhonda this. Miss Rhonda, here go $25. Miss Rhonda. And I'm like, that's how you do it.
And that's how you should. Like, it baffles me sometimes with some of the professions that we have. Like,
Yeah.
You're in nursing, so you literally have a profession of taking care of everybody
Of
except
everybody.
yourself.
Exactly.
It's like, what?
I'm like, invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? You deserve that. Why do you feel like, and a lot of us, we come from that generation where we got to keep our nose to our head down and work real hard. And you know what I'm saying? Just go out here, bust your tail and, don't make no noise. And hopefully you'll get a house and all this. And I'm like, but why do that and feel like you can't have anything? Yes, you can. What do you want? Ask for it. You know what I'm saying? Work for it. What does that
Manifest.
look like for you?
Speak
You
it
know what I
into
mean?
existence.
Manifest it. And I say that all the time. I tell people, put that out there. Look, I got to change my mindset. Yes, I want to see the rest of the world. Some people ain't left DC. That trips me out. How have you never crossed the bridge?
I met one of the guys that came to the Deep Creek trip. He was in his early 50s. He's like, I've never heard of this part of Maryland. This is
Right.
a 2-hour drive down the road.
Yep.
So if you've never heard of this part, I was like, where else have you been in the world? Where?
But I'm telling you, the younger generation, they're getting it because they on TikTok, honey. They on TikTok, they on different social media, and they out here, they traveling circles around us. And I'm like, wait a minute. Listen, did y'all know that it's a Black woman owned resort out in Middleburg, Virginia? It's like an hour or two away from here. It's called the Salamander Resort and Spa.
No.
Get into it.
See?
Get into
Yep.
it. Our people are doing it. A Black woman owned, only Black owned woman, Black woman owned resort and spa, 5-star. Know how I found out?
TikTok.
TikTok.
That's the new YouTube, baby. That's the
TikTok.
new YouTube university.
I'm like, they got horses and stuff, honey. Y'all, you know what I'm
About to make
saying? They
me
got
some
spas, swimming. You know what I mean?
yeah, about to make me some taco stuffed shells.
Right.
Messing with TikTok University.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, wait a minute, how are they finding out about this stuff? And I'm sitting over here like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this and that. No, I gotta get into it. Sending people to Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So I
You
want to,
know?
with that, yeah. So with that being said, speaking on that, I want to spin this a little bit, and I want to spin this for a reason about, the depth of treating yourself, not cheating yourself. Because
Yes.
again, even for some people who do travel, a lot of people have in their mentality, again, I just want to get away somewhere else, but I want to get away and I'm still going to do the same things I do back home. I feel like that's still kind of cheating yourself, right? So with you, like, and I have no favoritism to my team out there, no favoritism, right?
Yeah.
However, this is one of my partners that she really keeps me motivated. She really keeps me going. Like I watched her and how she grew, knowing that she went from no, you book it for me, to me saying, no, book this for yourself, put this money back in your pocket, right?
Right.
And then out of that, like I've learned so much, I've grown so much just through your travel experiences that you shared. And I'm like, wow, like, dang, I done been to Jamaica like 3-4 times. This is her first time going, and I didn't even know about that, right? So speak on some of the experiences that you have actually experienced yourself, that that's really giving people that clarity or that vision of how they can treat themselves. Like you had romantic dinner with friends on the beach.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the stuff we see in the movies. You know what I mean? You can.
So it started out with me taking my honey for his dirty 30 last year to Negril, to Royalton, Hideaway actually at Negril. And I contacted Daryl and he put me in touch with the hotel and the management. And then I started asking about birthday packages, right? I really didn't know what to expect when they told me about it. Then it was like, oh wow, y'all do all of that, the flowers, the banner on the door, breakfast in bed and all that type of stuff. And I was like, let me get that, right? Let me experience that and see what that's like firsthand. When I tell you they laid the red carpet out, I mean, every day y'all gonna be on the beach for y'all massage, because their birthday package had couples massage for like 30 minutes and breakfast in bed, and all I had to do was tell them what we wanted. you got a free photo, you got a bottle of wine, and it was like, all these different things that came in this one package. And then we did a beach dinner, a dinner on the beach there as well. That was separate. So it was like, once we did all that, it was like, dang, everything was so included. We don't want to travel no other way now. You know what I mean? We booked a balcony room, and I contacted them, say, hey, it's his birthday, blah, blah, blah. And all I did was throw it up in the universe and ask and say, hey, it's possible we can get an upgrade. They never answered me. But when I got there, he was like, yo, it's a pool out in front of this room. And I'm like, what? I was shocked. So when I posted the video, of the room and everything, I was shocked because they never said, hey, we are going to upgrade you.
So that's swim out.
Couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? As a consumer, if you don't know to ask for upgrades and things like that, you know what I'm saying, you don't receive. And I learned that as a travel professional, sometimes all you have to do is just ask. If they say no, it's cool. You already paid for what you paid for, right? You know what I mean? You're still going to get those other experiences, but I didn't expect that. So it was like, let me try my hand again. And I ran it back for Ocean Eden Bay. Like, now we're not trying to book any room without a swim out now, because it's like, how do you
sound like me? I'm
How
about that private pool, baby. Like, you're not cutting my hours off with my pool. I'm in here midnight.
Listen. I mean, we out in the pool 2-3:30 in the morning. Security just walking by, like, how y'all doing? Y'all okay? We good.
Gravy and biscuits, baby.
You know what I'm saying? So now we don't book anything without a swim out. And I tell everybody about it, and they're like, what's a swim out? And I'm like,
yeah,
honey, you could step right off your front porch and into your own pool. And listen, at Ocean Eden Bay, even though we were not connected to the swim up pool, the bartender came across the yard and served us drinks. We ain't have to leave the room.
Okay, VIP.
I didn't even book privilege. That's what I'm saying to you. It wasn't even a privilege, or like how some people have the Diamond Club and all. It wasn't even that. That was their service. I would have never done that or known that, you know what I'm saying, without ever traveling on this side of the business. And he didn't know who I was. We tipped him, of course, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't ever have to leave that room. And we ain't leave that.
You know what I'm saying?
The bartender bringing drinks. Who does that, right? So it was like, dang. When I found out, we did a tour. We did a tour there, and I posted the rooftop master suite or whatever that they had. The views were awesome and beautiful, right? But as we were doing that, they were telling us about how Love and Hip Hop, those folks were there. Housewives of Atlanta was there as well. So I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, did they stay in these suites? No. Did they get swim out rooms? No. I said, who is their agent? They need to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make major moves, VH1. I'm about to email VH1. Look.
Who is their agent?
What is
going on? Swim out rooms? Like, why y'all? Here I am, an average Joe Blow, and y'all are reality stars, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, y'all not even in privilege.
Don't even have butler service.
Right? So I think a lot of times people don't think of themselves that way. Going back to, like you were saying, investing and treating yourself and not cheating yourself. A lot of times people don't think that they're worthy of getting an ocean view or an ocean front versus an ocean view room. Sometimes I have to explain that. I said, look, I didn't know that until I started traveling and training and for my own self in business, right? And saying, hey, these ocean view rooms mean you can pretty much step out your balcony at some point, but it's beyond the tree line, you can see the ocean. Right?
That's ocean front though.
But ocean front, you can open up your blinds and you're facing the ocean. Like, you know what I'm saying? That there's a difference. And a lot of people didn't know that. I educate my friends. I'm like, listen, if you're traveling, this is what we're doing. We're getting a swim, because they wasn't thinking about no swim out. They were like, what? We can just go to the pool.
Yeah.
But what if you had your own pool?
You know,
it's so different. This is
I'm glad you said you said something that me and Reese talked about earlier, and I just think it can't get lost in the amazing stories that you are able to tell,
Yeah.
and the things that this one thing cannot get lost, because it was something that I had to learn, and that frankly we all had to learn.
Yeah.
But it's a hard thing for most people to understand because they fight against it.
Yeah.
The one thing that can't get lost in what you just said was that, yes, you deserve it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I say that in such a way that I truly mean, no, you really deserve it. You deserve the
Yeah.
vacation. You deserve the
Yes.
time off. You deserve the room. You deserve the upgrade. You deserve the
Yes.
VIP service.
Yes.
You deserve the time away, the relaxation, the mental reset. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you. That's
Don't
what you're here for. Some people feel like, well, no, I don't need much. When I speak about butler services and stuff like that, never knew that until I got into this business. And I was like, I don't need all that, right? But I have clients that demand it. And had I not known that, hey, this is an option, I'm thinking to myself, butler, what kind of pretentiousness is this, right? But then it's like when you've lived on the other side, I'm like, listen, I called the bellman. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I called the bellman, was like, can somebody come get these bags? Because I ain't walking them to the lobby. And homeboy came,
Man, I'm
got our
telling you, you get
bags, and put us
spoiled.
on the cart.
I was like, I'm not a bougie person at all. I'm like, I don't gotta pay extra. I carry my own stuff. I took and booked that one time just to experience it. Then I was like, time out, y'all don't have room service. So I gotta walk all the way down to the kitchen to get my hot dog or get my man. Like I didn't spoil myself, but yeah.
So
Y'all
you got
can't
people
bring me a
that
soda up.
right, but you got people that have all that live at that level, period, and already travel at that level. So when they're seeking you out as an agent or as an advisor, they're expecting you to be on it. I want you to know the difference between this, that, and the third. And I got clients that tell me, look, Rhonda, this ain't it. This ain't it. And I'm thankful for them because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, listen, I've gotten to know you more and what you expect and what you demand. And I know that I need to keep you on a separate level than what I would just give, you know what I'm saying? People that are just saying, hey, Rhonda, give me a price, right?
I did, but I learned years and years and years and years and years ago, being the first student of Mr. Two Jackets.
Right.
I mean, literally being the very first student of Mr. Two Jackets.
Yeah.
I was the practice dummy. And now look how that turned out, right? But when it came down to my clients, I gave them 3 options.
Yes.
It was always better, best, good. And I would always, show them the best.
The value, yeah. Yeah.
So my thing was, and Daryl always told me, and it was like, if you shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon, you end up amongst the stars, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you miss, you'll end up amongst the stars. Yep.
Yeah.
So my thing was, I would shoot as far forward as I could.
Right.
And I allowed them to break down what they could not afford or whatever the case might have been, and my other 2 choices. But the third choice still qualified for, was a standard.
Right. So I never booked like the run-of-the-mill room, right? So you say, hey.
Always gave a standard.
Yeah.
So that way my clients will always be able to experience something that they never experienced before. Hence the name Dream Makers Travel. You cannot provide a dream, or you can't feel a dream if you're just giving them a thought. You understand what I'm saying? Like you got to really put it in, and understanding how it worked. you know, because me and Reese talked about it again. Those modules slapped me in the face when I first started learning.
Yes.
Brother,
Yeah.
you know nothing about travel.
Yeah.
Oh, we knew everything, right? Couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, oh.
Right? You know
Listen.
what I mean? Those modules slap you and let you know, like, hey, you got
Yeah.
training to do.
Oh,
And
yeah.
once you really dig into the business and you really hone in on your craft and you get to learning what you got to learn, and you take the, you know, the necessary qualifications and all of those things that we do to learn what we learn how to do, it becomes second nature almost.
Yes.
And you know, people
Yes.
want to know, like I tell people all the time, I've booked travel in almost every way imaginable. I've done it on a plane. I've done it in a car. I've booked travel on a train. I've booked travel standing in line at a grocery store. I've
Yeah.
booked travel in and out of the shower. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm jumping in and out of the shower, booking travel. I've booked travel with a sour stomach. You hear what I'm saying? You know
Oh,
me
yeah.
with a sour stomach.
Yeah.
I ain't messing with him. He played too much.
You,
Yeah.
but
Not with the sour stomach. Oh my goodness.
But that's investing in you. That's also in letting your client know that, hey, yes, I'm here for you, and I'm also here for myself. You got to show up. You know what I mean?
got to. Because I want people to experience more than just like we
the
talked
regular. Yeah.
about the 6 blocks that's around them. The world
Yeah.
is much bigger than your neighborhood.
Yes.
And understand that you deserve it, and understanding that trip is for you. That
Yeah.
commercial that you see on TV, they are
That's you.
talking to you too.
Yes. You can have that.
You
You
can
can
have
have
that.
that.
It can be done. It's all about planning. It's all
Yes.
about the way you plan. If you plan properly, there's not a trip in this world that you cannot take.
I agree wholeheartedly. I don't show the run of the mill rooms. Like I said, when I was a consumer, the agent did what I asked her to do. Book me a room, book me a flight. I didn't think that she was supposed to say, hey, how about instead of just getting this run of the mill room, y'all do an ocean view or whatever, right? I didn't know what to expect. But now that I'm on the other side, I'm like, now when I offer somebody something, if you want the read, that's fine. I've stayed at the read, love it. But now instead of me giving you the run of the mill room that I was staying in, I'm gonna put you in oceanfront or ocean view. I'm gonna quote that to you and be like, hey, this is a party hotel. This is blah, 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 run it all down for you. And then say, hey, instead of me putting you on the bottom floor on the ground level or whatever, I put you in ocean view. If you choose that, great. If that's what you need to go a little bit lower, we can do that too. But I do that as a, the first option. I learned that with this business. Don't just give regular shoot, what I'm saying? Shoot for the other, if they ask me for oceanfront, then I might say, okay, offer it, the Diamond Club, Star Class, or whatever the case, whatever have you, just to have that extra on it. They don't know what, what I'm saying, to expect a lot of times. A lot of times people don't know what they want until you give it to them. Right? You give them that experience, you give them that package, and now they have something to look, to compare it to. Like,
gotta be that visionary.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Look, you looking at that price and you thinking, oh, I'm not gonna be sleeping in my room like that. Yeah, but eventually you're gonna take a nap, and it's gonna be a big difference from you waking up and staring at another brick wall versus you waking up and literally seeing the sun just cascading across the ocean.
Exactly.
It's a difference.
Right, it is. And it's kind of like, a lot of, like, it goes back to what people think about themselves and what they feel like is worthy. Because I said the same thing. I could just stay in the room. I'm not gonna be in a room anyway. But now that I've been to places like Royalton and now Ocean Eden Bay, I'm like, yeah, no,
got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, you can't go back, right? You've been driving a Benz. You can't go and get you a hoopty and be like, yeah, I'm happy with this.
Can't go back to the Honda Civic.
Nah, you're not moving like that, right? You know what I'm saying? You're hustling backwards at this point, right? The goal is to get the Tesla, right?
Right. I love it. Love it.
I'm glad you just said all that, because what I was waiting to ask you was like, what would you say, or what advice you would have for someone that books their own travel versus a competent or highly qualified, like your so travel advisor. But you answer that, so I want to go to something else. What give me? I'm not gonna ask you for 5 and all of that. Give me like 1 or 2 travel tips you can give, like in general, or something in your experience of booking or even your own travel. Like, what if you can give somebody 1 tip, maybe 2? What would those tips be? And it could be on anything.
For people that have never been out of the country, I offer Jamaica up first. I do. Because one, the people, the culture, and everything, once you've been, it's like, okay, now you either going to want to try other places or you're going to want to keep going back there. But my thought process is, you want to go to Dubai, you've never been on a plane. I'm not about to put you on a plane to Dubai. You've never been on a plane. You need to go to Jamaica. You need to get your flight legs up, right?
Right.
I had some folks go to Hawaii, put them on a nonstop flight out of Charlotte, didn't really have a choice. Homegirl was like, I can't do a 10-hour flight. I'm like, what you're going to need to do is get you some melatonin, have a nice, good brunch, get you some mimosas, and you're going to have to sit on that plane for 10 hours because the way cancellations and delays was going, I can't have y'all getting to Hawaii 3 days later, right?
Right,
so
right.
You're going to have to ride this 10-hour joint out, right? So it's kind of like, those are the tips I would give. Be early. If you know you have anxiety, make sure you got, all your medications and whatever it is that you need for that. If you've never been out of the country, I suggest shorter trips out of the country first. Some people say do the 3-day cruises to Bahamas and all of that. That's fine. I say take the shorter trips first so that you can understand, one, what it is to be in a plane, what the procedures are, what it is to go through the airport, go through customs and all of that. Some people have really never been through that. So it's kind of like I have to tell people step by step, literally hold their hand and say, look, this is what you're going to do from start to finish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that helped them out a lot. And they're like, okay, everything went exactly like you said. I was able to go here, there, and every, you know what I mean? So just being knowledgeable about the travel process itself. During COVID, like, I stayed up on protocol. I work in a hospital. I had to know what type of tests you had to take. Were you taking the, antigen test versus the PCR? Some countries wasn't allowing you to come in with the antigen. Not during the height of COVID, you had to have a PCR. So to know the difference, to be able to tell my clients, hey, look, instead of you getting this test, make sure you get that test. You need to get it out this many days ahead. You know what I mean? Just to be precautious. Right. People going to, hey, like I said, you've never been there. Make sure you got your hand sanitizer. Make sure you got your disinfectant, you know what I'm saying? Your wipes, whatever you're going to, is going to make you feel comfortable. And then I'll throw in tips like, hey, I bring a candle from home just to make the room feel like home, right? You know what I'm saying? To put you at ease or whatever, bring your own candles, pack it in your checked luggage. Make sure you got 3 ounces or less in your carry-on. So I go that far. Like, this is what you can carry. This is how much your bags are going to go. Because we can't assume that everybody's been out of the country before and understand that they got to pay for their bags to and from, unless you fly on Southwest and you don't have to pay at all. You know what I mean? So I walk them through all of that.
That's excellent tip. Now, I wouldn't be me if I wasn't a little silly. So, well, you already heard us say 3 ounces. So I'm about the candle. Let's make that clear. I'm telling you.
Mr. Nelson.
Talking about the candle. You have to say it. I'm telling you. Trust me. We can talk offline of why I'm saying that. You have to say that.
I got 2 words. Brittany Griner.
Absolutely.
Once I get there, everybody be like, oh, yeah. Check your bag. Make sure. Because you don't want to be in somebody's prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to have to go to the embassy for you and come fish you back out. So, and trust.
Yeah.
We're not negotiating with terrorists. I don't care what you heard. Right?
Absolutely.
Or not.
That's just being real.
This was a good one, y'all.
Absolutely.
This was important. You have to treat yourself. You got to no one owes you anything, even if you loaned them $20. Technically, they owe you, but they don't owe you.
Yeah.
But you owe yourself
Yeah.
regardless. You owe
Yeah.
yourself. You
Yeah.
have to treat yourself. Stop cheating yourself. Like you go all in 110 for everybody else except for yourself.
Yes. Yes.
I just got one quick funny thing I wanted to share in reference to, and we can wrap it up. But I had to share this. This was too funny. I said I know for a fact I'm not going to be one of those ones to say that I'm going to wait until I retire until to start traveling. I said I keep all my stuff intact. Let me tell y'all, I got carpal tunnel borderline arthritis real bad from typing. I took that ATV tour straight up to the top of the little mountain or whatever. It's a new tour that's called the Lair of Mount Zion, right? I took that joint to the top. I had to stop. The guy got so mad. He was like, Reese, no, man, you can't stop on the hill. I said, dude, my arthritis is flared up to the 25th power. Like, y'all could not grab the daggone gas on the handlebar because my arthritis was flared up. Because it's like
you was in the right place. You was in the right
like,
place. They'll snatch something off the tree and make something for you and wrap you up.
Right. I'm sitting there like, dude, I can't give me a he's like, no, you gotta keep going. And that right there was an eye-opener to say, yeah, you go ahead and you get it together, get you some herbal stuff, and some herbal natural healing
what?
potions.
They should have gave you some pineapples here. Eat that. Take the swelling down.
Start traveling now because I ain't got time, y'all. I need my knees and all my joints intact. So y'all better stop playing talking about you gonna wait till you retire. Especially if you ain't one of them gym junkies that ain't like working out every single day.
Yeah, no, listen. Literally today, I had an old coworker of mine call me. Her and I were tight. We worked together for years. Her husband passed on Monday.
Oh, wow.
And I said that to say this, right? Once she found out I got my own business and everything, I'm gonna book a trip through you. We gonna go this, that, and third. After this, after that, after this, after that. They never got a chance to take the trip to Jamaica because her husband passed on Monday now, right?
Wow.
Right? So that's something real. It's like, and you got to have that mentality in a sense, like we can sleep when we're dead.
Yeah.
Right. So you gotta take life and understand, hey, this is how I want to live my life. I don't want to be sitting behind, this type of restriction, that type of restriction. I don't want to wait for, this to happen or that to happen. Life is never going to be more perfect than it is today. Life is not going to be any easier than it was today.
Yeah.
The next hour might be something else, another challenge, another goal, another this, another that, another life, another death. It's never going to be as easy or as perfect as it is right now, right? So seize the day. That's how that saying goes. You got to live for now because you might not get tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard someone switch it up recently, and they were like, how they always say tomorrow's not promised. Like I heard some people start saying today's not promised. Like my next 5 minutes is not promised.
Hey,
you know what I mean? So,
people left home today and didn't go back home. You know what I'm saying? People, you know what I'm saying, might not make it back home tomorrow or whatever. You don't know the day or the hour. So it's kind of like, I want to live the best that I can and treat myself and have, that legacy as well. You know what I'm saying? That's the part of paying yourself, treating yourself, not cheating yourself is also what do I want my legacy to be? If I keep living behind all these restrictions, what am I teaching the generations, beyond me? You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to say, you know what, I got to do something bigger. I got to do something better. I thought this business was going to be one thing, but it turned out to be something completely different. I thought that this was going to be, a little side joint, but it's pretty much become something that I'm working on every day because I might get, people ask me for quotes or I'm researching stuff for my own self or, hey, I want to level up, make it to the next level. I need to be able to do a cruise, you know what I'm saying? To make the next certifications that I need to make for myself in my business so that I can educate people along the way. Even if people don't book with me, at least I'll say, hey, look, did you know that you can do this, and that, and the third? It just gets their mind thinking. It just gets their mind thinking about, hey, like I spoke about those nurses. it just gets them to thinking like, hey, there's other things outside of work that I could do for myself. So I'm not being burnt out. I'm not feeling like I'm taking care of everybody else and not taking care of myself, right? So we all have to have that mindset of sometimes we gotta get away, but in order to do that, you have to educate yourself. You don't just want to take a stab in the dark, right? You know, you don't want to be broke up talking about you want to go to Greece for 3 days and you can't even half-ass walk.
That's a
But we
fact.
don't. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You go to, you gotta know if I'm sending clients to Greece, if they're not physically able to do so, that's a wasted trip for them. Greece might be beautiful, but all that walking and stuff, that's not, you know what I mean, feasible for them. So you want to send them Turks and Caicos where they can lay out and chill.
Facts.
Some good stuff.
Right.
And I think there's some good content
Yes.
that we can spin off for another show. We went overtime today, but this was good.
Yeah.
It's vital. It's really vital with things that we're going through today. Just dealing with life itself. And it's not, like you stated, it's not getting any better. It's not, it's just becoming the norm, to be honest. So it's time to really step your game up and really get out of your comfort zone, because like you're going to be forced out of it regardless. COVID forced us out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, monkeypox is about to do what it's about to do.
Look,
I'm pretty sure that, you know, the
all
duck
that.
TikTok is gonna come out soon. They're gonna come up with something new. So this is the new norm.
Yep.
And the new norm for yourself is to do something different today than what you did yesterday, and do something even more different tomorrow than you did today.
And
You
get
know,
rid of fear. Get rid of fear. You know,
should be non-existent.
You got to get out of that comfort zone. Fear is a killer for anything across the board. Fear of succeeding, fear of failing. You know what I'm saying? Anything like that. I won't lie. I caught COVID right before I went on my trip, and I mean, I was scared to death, like praying that we would heal before, and we, you know, everything was great beforehand before we went on our trip, but it was like, oh my God, what if I can't go on this trip? What if I can't? And it was like, if I didn't know to have insurance or different things like that, just being knowledgeable and taking care of ourselves. So that just, you know,
CYA.
You don't know what's going to happen.
All
If
day
y'all don't
long.
know what CYA is, you just look it up. Look that acronym up, because we're gonna keep it clean. But no, this has been an amazing segment today. I thank you so much, Rhonda, for stepping in. I know it was kind of last minute, but you were killing it effortlessly, like I knew you would. Like, this was some vital things that we shared. Gave us some spin-off topics as well for our next couple of shows. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have you back for another episode. But we're about to wrap it up today for the Travel Misfits. We're going to tune in. Next Friday is going to be the day before Labor Day. I don't know if my co-hosts, my other hosts, well, we're all co-hosts, have something planned. But if not, if we come to you guys next Friday, we're going to do a special Traveling for the Holidays segment in lieu of Labor Day. If you guys didn't know what next week was, Labor Day. Labor Day means a day that you do not work.
Right. Right. No labor. Literally.
So, you know, we're going to do a special segment on traveling for the holidays, and again, going back to switching up your norm, getting out of your living room for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff. You know, so some of that fun stuff. So we looking forward to seeing you guys possibly next Friday on the 2nd. I don't think we're having any cookouts next Friday, so I think I could be on here. But I'm gonna talk to my co-hosts Reggie and Darren. Tune in to the Travel Misfits, and again, as you know, we're all travel professionals. As you can see, we really take our education in this field serious. We are passionate about it. So if you're trying to you're thinking about booking that trip, you're confused about booking that trip, you booked it and you still feel like you kind of shortening yourself, reach out to us. You got Reggie, you got Rhonda, you got myself, you got Darren. Reach out to us, let us know, and we got you. So with that being said,
thanks for having me.
Fokker out.
Thanks for being on. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
y'all
so much, guys. This has been amazing. Enjoy your weekend. Love y'all. Stay blessed and all that good stuff. Reggie, we're gonna definitely keep you upheld in our prayers.
Yes.
and all that good stuff for them to get it together over there. And that's about it, y'all.
Have a good weekend.
All right, everybody.
All right.